We all know that Middle East is flaming up. We know that multiple countries are being targeted and multiple countries are now part of war. But what we don't know that this war is not being fought in countries. It is being fought in a tiny passage through sea, which is Strait of Hormuz, because this is the very strait which tells the world that US decided to attack Iran, but it did not think what will happen to the global oil supply. And it is that very strait which tells the world that how much power Iran holds in terms of causing consequences across the globe. So whoever controls this particular Strait of Hormuz is the one who is going to be coming out winning and looking powerful. And that is why US has yet another plan, because they have not been able to navigate the Strait of Hormuz blockage caused by Iran. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to talk about the Strait of Hormuz naval coalition plans that has been put forth by Donald Trump. So what does Donald Trump want now? Donald Trump wants that the like-minded nations, the bigger nations, the NATO members, they should come together and they should have a coalition. But coalition for what? Coalition so that the commercial vessels can be escorted by military vessels when they pass the Strait of Hormuz. Because in recent times, Strait of Hormuz, because of US-Israel-Iran war, is being blocked. It is closed. Why it is closed? Let us try to understand that now. So when we are talking about this very year, February, and February itself, we saw that Israel and US attacked Iran. Now, in order to make understand US that what are the consequences, the things are at risk, Iran not only attacked the other nations, at one point there were more than 9 nations which were part of this whole conflict. But Iran also threatened, which it has done for the longest time, that we will not allow passage of vessels through Strait of Hormuz. So when we are talking about Strait of Hormuz, we clearly understand that this narrow passage right here, this is just south of Iran. So Iran knows that this passage is a geopolitical choke point, energy choke point. 20% of the global oil supply goes from here. If we block this, then the whole world will lobby to stop US and Israel from doing this, because the consequences will not be just for Israel and US, it will be for everybody. And Iran has been doing that. Iran has blocked the movement of cargo from the Strait of Hormuz, and there have been attacks on the commercial ships when they are passing through Persian Gulf. This is exactly where the whole fight is centered at Strait of Hormuz, because this is the place Iran is showing its might, that how much it can create a global impact, and this is the place US wants to show its might, that no, you cannot. If we have the power, if we bring our allies together, we can stop it. And that is why what is US proposing? That okay, let us make a global naval coalition plan where military vessels of our countries, including US, including European countries, including Japan, Australia, that the military vessels will be escorting the commercial vessels. What will happen because of this? That the cargo movement through this very strait will resume, and whatever power that Iran is trying to hold, that okay, we will block this, there will be no movement of cargoes from here, that means no supply of oil from this strait, which will lead to further consequences. So all of this will be stopped. So this is what Donald Trump has pitched as of now. Now the question is, why Donald Trump has pitched this? Because since last 2.5 weeks, because of the standstill at the Strait of Hormuz, what are we seeing? We are seeing that global energy markets are already witnessing rising oil prices and disruption risks. So when we are talking about the LPG crisis, which is kind of unfolding in our country, is a consequence of blockage of Strait of Hormuz. And that marks the fact that Strait of Hormuz is a very critical point. So you can see that this will be a revision kind of thing for you. We have covered this multiple times in recent times. That's why we are not going to go into detail of Strait of Hormuz. We have to understand that Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point. Why it is a choke point? Because 20% of world oil supplies goes through this strait. This is the connecting point which is between Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman, and then Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. And also 20% of global liquid natural gas goes through there. Now, if this passage has to be blocked, there is issue of mines, there is risk of missile threats, and if this continues, what will happen? Oil price spike will take place, shipping disruptions, and also global energy impact will be seen. When we are talking about this very strait, you don't have to think that it is only about Iran. All the Middle East Asian countries present here, all the West Asian countries present here, be it Saudi Arabia, Iraq, UAE, Kuwait, then we have Iran, Qatar when we are talking about LNG supply. These are the ones which export through this route. So it is not only about the importers like India which need oil, it is also about these countries, their economies suffering because of the blockage of this. So what has been given as a plan? That we will have a multinational naval escort, and that has been suggested by United States. United States simply wants that major countries should come together and make this as a mission. It will help the commercial ships and oil tankers to move, and it will protect the maritime shipping lane from any attacks or blockades at all. And what will be the consequence of this? It will ensure that the global energy supply comes in uninterrupted, there is no disruption, so that there is no pressure on US to let go of this situation or to resolve this situation or to come to the negotiations table is all. Because as of now, this global oil crisis is going to pressurize US in the other direction, which US does not want. US wants a shortcut in this situation, that they don't want to bow down. They will find a way in which the others which are being affected with the help of others, but they will not let go of this situation. So when we are talking about this multinational naval escort plan, the only idea is to ensure that there is protection to the commercial shippings so that the oil crisis is averted and US is not lobbied against. But the problem here is this plan has not been very well received by the allies of US itself. Japan has shown limited interest, Australia has shown limited interest. When we talk about European countries, they have cited reasons to stay away from this multinational naval escort because of multiple factors which US is not taking in consideration, but they should. Other countries do clearly realize that if they join this escort mission which is being planned, this will clearly lead to military escalation with Iran. So even if they are not in conflict with Iran, they will be directly roped in. That will also create domestic political constraints. For example, if you look at India as of now, India just has received clearance of 2 commercial vessels, oil tankers, to pass through Strait of Hormuz via, and this has been facilitated by Iran. So this is a win for Indian diplomacy. But at the same time, let's just imagine India decides to join this. Then our diplomacy with Iran would go down the drain. It will also have domestic effects in our country. And then we also have to consider international laws domain, because there are legal restrictions which are present when we are talking about overseas military deployment. Of course, US has decided to not follow any global framework, to not look into such reasons for any hesitation at all, but other countries do understand what it is like to live in the rule-based global framework, and they want to give consideration to that. So as of now, this plan, even though pitched with high enthusiasm, does not see any consolidation and finality to it as of now. And as a result, because Strait of Hormuz remains blocked, we are seeing that oil prices have already gone above $100 per barrel, because supply fear, the disruption fear remains there. Shipping insurance cost has increased, freight rates across the region have increased, and global inflation, it is something that is real, that is coming down. Even if you're talking about India, just the LPG issues, you will find restaurants charging more, stalls charging more, and there is limitation. The problem is real, and whose pocket is going to be burned by this? It is the consumers. So you will be seeing that this price increase, it is not happening internationally. It is going to impact you in the domestic, in your house as well. Apart from that, when we are talking about specifically Asia and India, we have to remember that Asia is the recipient of 84% of oil shipments which are coming through Strait of Hormuz. So if this 84 is blocked, Asia is going to be impacted directly. Let alone Asia, if you look at China, India, Japan and South Korea, they get 70% of this 84%. So that means the brunt would be higher on these countries, and the brunt would be in form of higher fuel prices, more money being spent by consumers, that means inflationary pressure, risk to energy security, and then this will lead to other problems such as rise in current account deficit. This will lead to pressure on rupee. This will lead to pressure on our monetary policy and monetary policy committee to make decisions, and many more. So this naval plan which has been hatched does not seem materializing, but the problems are still present there. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. That was all from my side. I'm leaving you here with the prelims practice question. Let me know the answers in the comment section. Thank you so much.